Hello everyone, welcome back to Auto Trend TV. I am your Viprajesh again from Ambal Auto Maruti Suzuki Coimbatore today, and I am here with the newly launched facelifted Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. This here is the 1.5 litre petrol engine equipped ZXi Plus top spec variant of the facelifted Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza, and today I am going to take you through a detailed review of this specific car. Now first of all, on the exteriors you can clearly see that most of the car remains exactly similar to the BS4 Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza except for certain obvious design changes. The headlamps are now much sleeker to look at and also get LED projector elements. Along with that, the headlamps are also integrated with LED DRLs which also act as the indicators. Moving lower down, you can see the fog lamps which are also kind of different in design and also are LED units. Coming to the front grille, you can see that the grille receives a whole lot of chrome and has been changed in terms of design. It is more in line with the SUV tough urban design theme of Maruti Suzuki, and lower down the lower grille also has been changed in terms of design, which now gets a bull bar kind of tough look. So apart from all these changes at the front, the Vitara Brezza facelift is not that different when you look at it from the sides except for these new alloy wheels. It now gets 16-inch machine cut alloy wheels on the top spec variants, which kind of add to the already tough looking Vitara Brezza's looks. So apart from that, you can see that the body cladding lower down is also very similar to the BS4 variant, and as you can clearly see, this is a dual tone variant with a glossy black contrasting roof color. This is available only on the top spec ZXi Plus variant, and as you can see, even the ORVM along with the roof panels are finished in glossy black. Roof rails are almost standard on every variant of the Vitara Brezza, which kind of add to the height and tough looks of the Vitara Brezza as well. Apart from all these changes from the rear and the sides, the Vitara Brezza largely looks similar to the BS4 variant. Moving on towards the rear, you can see, however, the new facelifted Vitara Brezza gets updated tail lamps with LED elements integrated into them. Apart from that, there seems to be not much of any changes at the rear. You get the very same large chrome plaque with the Vitara Brezza badging right above the number plate housing, and the rear bumpers also get the reprofiled bull bar kind of look, which adds to the tough design signature of Maruti Suzuki. And of course, the top spec variants of the Vitara Brezza gets rear wash wipe function with defogger as well. So that was all about the looks and the exterior appeal of the facelifted Vitara Brezza. This is how the car looks from the rear in profile. The Vitara Brezza has always been quite traditional and very boxy in terms of looks, which kind of aids the interior space and practicality. Let's just get inside this car to check out the features and practicality. Yes folks, I'm right now inside the newly launched facelifted Petrol ZXi Plus Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza compact SUV, and this is how the interiors look like. Well, in first glance you may not seem a whole lot of difference because a vast portion of the interiors look exactly the same. They are basically exactly the same. There have been no sort of changes to the interior overall design and layout along with its materials. So first of all, starting with the steering wheel, you get the very same steering wheel which you used to get on the original Maruti Suzuki Ertiga, the previous generation Swift and the Desire. That was the time period when the Vitara Brezza was launched, so they have not changed the steering wheel. However, you may know that the latest generation Maruti Suzuki Swift, the Desire and the Ertiga get an updated steering wheel design with a flat bottom kind of design, but that is not available in this. But still you get leather wrap steering wheel which is absolutely nice in quality, and the stitching itself is really impeccable. That's really good. And this being the top spec ZXi Plus, you get cruise control as well on the right side of the steering boss, which is excellent. On the left side, however, you can see the typical steering mounted audio controls along with Bluetooth telephony buttons located lower down. Beyond the steering wheel, of course, you can see the instrument cluster, which has always been the same on the original Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. Let me just turn on the ignition. Before turning the ignition on, let me just show you the key. This is how the key of the facelifted Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza looks like. It is the same key which was provided on the S-Cross as well, and it's still a very nice, chunky and heavy key. Let me just turn on the ignition. The push button starter button is located over here on the right side of the steering wheel. So one press, and the second press, of course, turns on everything in this car. That's how the dashboard looks like when everything is turned on. The instrument cluster, as you can see, it's quite simple and has got analog dials only with a sort of a decent sized MID in the center. Apart from that, there is not much of a detail. However, you can customize your dial colors according to your mood. That's what Maruti Suzuki claim. That is kind of a unique feature which is now also available on the Mahindra XUV300. But the Brezza was the first one to provide such customization options. Apart from that, everything is totally normal. You get the control stalks on the top of the instrument cluster where you can check all the display options. You get average economy, range, distance to empty, instantaneous efficiency, average mileage and so on. So that's totally good. You also get the display for external temperature as well. That's really good. This car is so brand new that it has run only 9 kilometers in total, and that's okay as well. The fuel gauge, however, as you can see, it's kind of small. These are the small beads for the fuel gauge display, and this car has got very minimum fuel. That's why there is only one bar blinking. And on the right side of the MID, you can see the engine temperature gauge. So that's all about the instrument cluster. Everything else is totally normal. Coming to the other features, you get automatic headlamps on this top spec ZXi Plus variant. Automatic headlamps, as you can see, the stock has got an auto mode along with the front fog lamp control as well. On the left side, you can see the automatic headlamp stock. There is an auto mode for the wipers, so that is also a feature addition on the facelifted Vitara Brezza. Coming to the center console, however, you can see the very same 7-inch Smart Play infotainment touchscreen system. It has got around 6 speakers, namely 4 speakers and 2 tweeters. The speaker quality is average. It's not the best. It is just okay. Let me just show you that. So this is FM. So as you can see, the speaker quality is just about average. It's not the best, but still it's totally fine. It's quite decent. Moving lower down, you can see that everything remains exactly the same as before. You get the automatic climate control console over here. The very same buttons are carried over, with the auto button getting the major focal point. That is really good. The display is clean and it's also in white, so that is a little bit better when you compare with certain other cars which provide orange or blue lighting. So that's okay. The AC vents of the center console also are the very same. There is a hazard button located right at the center as well, so that's okay. Moving lower down, you can see this transmission lever. It is a 5-speed manual transmission, being the fact that The new petrol engine Vitara Brezza is available with 5-speed manual and 4-speed torque converter automatic transmission options. So this here is the manual. It is a very slick, very good gearbox to use. It's easy to flick, and it's going to be enjoyable to drive. However, sadly I am unable to drive this car today since the test drives have not begun yet. So let me just give you a good detailed look at the interior right now. Coming to the handbrake lever, you have got the typical handbrake lever over here. It is decent, just like before. It's good in quality, very robust. You get a couple of cup holders just beside that, and I have placed the keys over here. Along with that, you get this kind of small slot, probably to place your coins or something. That is all. And coming to the armrest, it is decent. It's nicely cushioned as well. It's openable, and underneath the armrest you can see that the storage space is quite deep. While not being too large, it's kind of deep and usable, probably to store a half-liter water bottle or something. So that is good as well. The good point is that the armrest is slidable as well, so that is really useful for people who are shorter than me as well. And coming to the glove boxes, of course I am saying glove boxes because the Vitara Brezza always has provided dual glove boxes. One is on the top and one is down over here. This one is a very average size normal glove box, just like every other Maruti Suzuki car. However, this top part of the glove box, the upper glove box, is cooled, and you can probably store easily couple half-liter water bottles here, so that is good. Now, coming to the plastic quality of the interiors, I have never been impressed by Maruti Suzuki's latest cars when it comes to interior plastic quality, and that is the same case over here as well. They have tried to provide some kind of different texture on the dashboard. However, it kind of still is very scratchy and very not so impressive. You can see that it's kind of tacky. It's very tacky. A good point is that on the driver door, on every door of the Vitara Brezza, they have provided this kind of fabric padding, which is the only relief when it comes to the door plastics. However, the sore point is that you get fabric padding over here instead of over here. This is normally where you would rest your elbow. However, this area does not get any sort of padding. It's still a very hard plastic. That is kind of I don't know what to say. It's kind of a missing point, but it still could have been done a little bit better. Coming to the driver door, of course, you can see that the design looks exactly the same as before. No changes whatsoever. Not even these buttons have changed in terms of quality. These are the very same buttons used on every Maruti Suzuki car, right from the Swift, the Celerio, all the way up to the Ciaz and S-Cross, and even the XL6 now. So you will be totally familiar with these buttons if you have a Maruti Suzuki car in your home. So that's totally fine. And coming to this area on the right side of the steering wheel, you get other controls such as electronically adjustable ORVM. The joystick is over here, along with the buttons to control the folding mechanism of the ORVMs. So as you already know, this car has got auto folding ORVMs, so that can also be controlled from here. And this here is the headlamp leveler scroller, so that is also a familiar switch if you already have a Maruti Suzuki car at home. So coming back to the infotainment system, this Smart Play infotainment system is available on almost all Maruti Suzuki cars, starting from the Espresso and all the way going up to this Vitara Brezza. So this is very familiar. It's a good system. It's not bad at all. It's got a nice slick user interface. It's very easy to use. As you can see, it's kind of very much responsive, and it gets almost all the things you'll need. It also gets Android Auto and Apple Car connectivity as well. Along with that, you also get a reverse parking camera, and this is how the reverse parking camera display looks like. It is kind of crisp and very useful. It's not the best, but still it's good enough. It's surprisingly good enough. It's very colorful. It is nice. It's very nice to use even at night times, even at low light. So that's a really good point. So coming to the roof, of course, going up to the roof, you have got a nice sunglass holder over here with kind of a felt lining material inside, so that takes care of your sunglasses. Coming to the lights, of course, you get couple of lights for the front, along with a single light for the rear seat passengers, which is located in the center part of the cabin. That is really cleverly designed and cleverly located. These front lights, however, can be operated by just pressing the lights themselves, so that is kind of very useful. And along with that, you also have this switch to turn them off if you don't want them, so that is also very good. The sun visors are of course of standard size, with the passenger side getting a nice vanity mirror with a lid, while the driver side does not get anything except for this ticket holder kind of thing. And the surprise is that the Vitara Brezza is now available with auto dimming IRVM carried forward from the Maruti Suzuki Baleno hatchback, which is really very helpful. You don't have to hassle around by turning off and on the switch for day-night vision. So that is nice in size and nice to use as well. So that's all about the front cabin. Yeah, if you want to ask, there is no sunroof or anything provided on the facelifted Vitara Brezza as well. I think probably the Vitara Brezza is the only compact SUV in the Indian market to not provide sunroof on any of its variants. So I hope Maruti Suzuki gets that as well, because Indian people are crazy when it comes to fancy features and especially sunroof. So let me just get to the rear seat of the Vitara Brezza facelift and check out how's the space, the overall comfort and quality. Yes guys, I'm right now in the back seat of the newly launched facelifted Petrol ZXi Plus Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza, and this is how the dashboard looks like from the rear seat. It may be an all black cabin, but still it is quite functional and very useful. Coming to the rear seats, however, you can see that the space is quite good. It's okay, it's definitely fine. I have got more than adequate knee room, more than adequate foot room as well. I can easily slide my feet under the front seat, provided the fact that I have adjusted the driver seat for my height, which is 5'11" for reference. Of course, the top spec variants of the Vitara Brezza gets height adjustable driver seat, so that is also very good. Apart from that, top spec variants of the Vitara Brezza also get height adjustable front seat belts, so that is also very convenient for tall and short passengers alike. The rear seat width is quite good as well, so it is not so difficult to seat 3 people abreast over here, even if they are adults. So that is a good point when it comes to the Vitara Brezza, because the cabin itself is quite square as a result of the square shape of the Vitara Brezza, and that helps liberate a whole lot of space when it comes to the cabin. So that's all about the rear seat space. You have got a center armrest on the top spec variants, along with couple of cup holders, which is kind of useful. The armrest is quite robust to use and very nicely engineered as well. You get adjustable rear headrests for the rear seats on the top spec variants of the Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. However, as you may know, the LXi basic variant of the Vitara Brezza facelift does not get this kind of features. The rear door, of course, is quite similar to the front doors, and also is quite similar to the pre-facelifted BS4 Vitara Brezza diesel. Of course, all the doors of the facelifted Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza get nicely designed 1-liter bottle holders, just like the front doors. Of course, let me just show you the front doors. So that is everything taken care of when it comes to practicality and space and comfort. It is a really usable, very functional, easy to use cabin when it comes to the Vitara Brezza facelift, just like the original Vitara Brezza. So let me just show you the boot before I show you the engine bay under the bonnet and conclude this review. Yes guys, I'm going to pop open the boot of the facelifted Vitara Brezza, and this is it. The Vitara Brezza has always been providing 328 liters of very practical and usable boot space, and that is the same case over here as well. So apart from the boot floor, you can see a couple of pockets on the sides so as to place your small knickknacks and items, which is quite very handy. And apart from that, you can also see that you have got 60-40 split function for the rear seats, which kind of aid in improving the luggage capacity if you have certain large luggages. Even though the rear seats do not fold entirely flat, you get an almost flat and usable floor when you fold the rear seats. Under the boot floor, you can clearly see a full-size 16-inch steel spare wheel, which is provided as standard across all variants of the Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. Along with the spare wheel, you can also see other toolkits such as the jack, spanner and so on. So that was all about the boot of the facelifted Vitara Brezza. Let's just pop open the bonnet to check out the engine. To pop open the bonnet of the facelifted Vitara Brezza, you have to pull this lever in the driver footwell and pop open the bonnet. The facelifted Vitara Brezza, however, is available with only a petrol engine option. The diesel engine has been discontinued. And once you pop open the bonnet, you can clearly see that the bonnet is provided with a whole lot of under bonnet cladding so as to improve the NVH and reduce the noise levels inside the cabin as well. So this here is the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder K-series petrol engine, which is also available on the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz and the Ertiga along with the XL6 now. So this engine produces around 105 PS of power with a torque figure of 138 Newton meters through either a 5-speed manual transmission or a 4-speed automatic torque converter transmission. However, one point is to note that the automatic transmission is available with the SHVS Smart Hybrid system of Maruti Suzuki, while the manual variant is not available with the very same system. So this here is a very refined and very solid petrol engine which is good enough in power and very enjoyable to drive. However, we will be able to judge the performance of the petrol Vitara Brezza only when we get to drive it on road. So here's a clear view at the engine bay of the facelifted petrol Vitara Brezza. This car is available as standard with ABS, EBD, dual airbags along with ISOFIX child seat mounts as standard across all variants. Along with that, the Vitara Brezza has also scored 4 stars when it comes to the NCAP crash test rating, which makes it the safest Maruti Suzuki car ever produced. So that was all about the new facelifted petrol Vitara Brezza ZXi Plus manual. Even though there have been no changes to the interiors to make it a little bit more desirable, the Vitara Brezza has always been a no-nonsense, very practical and very reliable compact SUV. So do let me know in the comment section below what do you think about the facelifted Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. The pricing is on the screen for you. Meanwhile, this is Viprajesh signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe for more videos. If you like this video, click the like buttons and give your comments.